In this video, I want to try to teach people how to write a journal. I feel like some people don't give journaling a fair chance, and I think it could be very effective. And I want to talk about how beneficial journaling can be. And I think some people see it as girly or gay or not for them or not their style, and so they don't even try it or give it a chance. I think everyone is capable of writing a journal, unless you just have no hands and you just physically just cannot write things down. I think for the most part everyone is capable of writing a journal. Journaling can help you question your feelings, and you are the best person to question your feelings, better than anyone else. And it's pretty much like free therapy. Even though you probably need to buy a pen and buy a journal, but compared to the hundreds of dollars that people spend on therapy, and people can go to therapy for years and never get solutions. And why would you want someone questioning your feelings when they probably don't even know how to question their own feelings, which can be some therapists. I think you are the best person to question your own feelings, better than anyone else. So yeah, why would you want to spend hundreds of dollars on therapy and having someone question your feelings when they probably don't even know how to question their own? So I think journaling is a lost art form that we need to rediscover and reteach everyone. And our poor education system doesn't teach us how to do it. And some people, it comes naturally to them. For some other people, they don't know how to do it and they don't know how to learn to do it. And I want to try my best to try to teach people how to journal. Because those people that it doesn't naturally come to them and they don't know how to journal, if they don't have someone that they can vent to with their emotions, some of them have to bottle up their emotions until they explode. And so that isn't pretty. And to avoid that, journaling helps us not bottle up our emotions. It helps us let it out. Because if you don't have someone to talk to, then you can write it down. And you can treat the paper like it's your best friend. So how do you write a journal? So writing a journal and questioning our feelings is where and when our logic meets our emotion. And journaling is a skill that we can use for the rest of our life. So instead of just relying on someone to vent your emotions one time and to let it out one time, or having to rely on someone to constantly vent out your emotions to, learning how to do it yourself on your own is a way that you can rely on just yourself to be able to question your own feelings and to be able to vent out your own feelings without having to rely on someone else. Or I think of, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, then he'll eat for the rest of his life. Instead of having to rely on someone to vent your emotions to once or twice, you can take care of it yourself by teaching yourself how to journal your feelings and have emotional management. And sometimes it's hard to know why we feel the way we feel, but journaling helps us get to the bottom of it. And so I recommend journaling every single day, even when we don't feel like it, because that is still a feeling. Laziness, but it's still a feeling, and we can write that down. You can write, I don't feel like writing this journal. I feel lazy. And you can question your laziness. Why am I lazy? Why do I like to be lazy? And you can understand why you're lazy. And you can question that feeling. If you're someone new to journaling, you can also write about how it feels to write a journal for the first time. And for me, I remember writing, I don't know if it was my first journal, but in one of my journals, I wrote, this feels awkward and uncomfortable to write this journal. So writing about not feeling like writing a journal, laziness, questioning that, and then also writing about how it feels to write a journal. which is all part about writing how we feel. And it helps you ease into it. And I get that sometimes you can learn how to swim fast by jumping in the deep end, but I think the best way to learn is to start in the shallow end and ease into the deep end, especially when it comes to journaling and questioning our deep feelings. So I highly recommend easing into it and starting simple, like questioning, how do I feel about today? How do I feel about the season, like the summer? It's summer now, so how do I feel about the summer? How do I feel about my past? How do I feel about my future? How do I feel about my relationships? And just start small and start simple and just ease into it, like I said. Starting in the shallow end and ease into the deep end. So starting with questioning our simple feelings and then easing into questioning our deep feelings so we can get to know ourselves better. Research has shown that writing your thoughts and feelings can help reduce anxiety, lower blood pressure, and heal trauma. And research also shows from Dr. James Pennebaker that writing about stressful events can help improve immune function, lower our heart rate, and reduce the number of sick days a person has. So I highly recommend journaling to avoid bottling up our emotions and to improve our overall health. So yeah, I hope this helps.